Now here is the latest Rick V3 map, and there is a lot of things that have been added. As you can see right here, this is the previous version, and here on the left you see that there is a new airport being carefully created, and also Hamlet and the prison where Lucia is at the beginning of the game is being added. Now obviously Rick's contribution to this is the Vice City part of the map. We also have the Janus map, which is all of Leonida, and you can see it on this website, maps.stateofleonida.net, and you can go basically anywhere, like here in this airport, and you can click and you see the in-game image and also the Google Maps or real life reference for it, along with the coordinates, the real life location, what category it is in, and the source. And you can go to Google Earth and copy the coordinates or go to the location. Now this is Janus's V8 map, and it already looks very detailed, but the Rick V3 map is now the most updated, most detailed map that we can find. And so I want to go ahead and show you what these new findings are that he's been put in. And so we're gonna put the two maps next to each other and see what has changed. So let's start with Biscayne Key, because this really changed a lot. Biscayne Key was a little bit more round here, and now we have a much more different shape. The new version has also the 100-foot sand lines right there, and Cape Florida, along with this building right here, the Carden Park Tennis Center, which we saw from the leaks looking like this right here. And next to there we have Virginia Key, which is also a little bit different now. You can see this shaped going kind of more vertically, which is here more horizontally, and this has the Miami Marine Stadium, and that is this stadium right here. And I guess what happens here is cool little shows that are done on water, so maybe there's cool little live events that can happen. And you can see that they had plans for a restoration project, but apparently this is abandoned. So if you want to know more, watch this video by Bright Sun Films. In Virginia Key there's also this Central District wastewater treatment, which in real life looks like this, and it's just a plant where they have a oxygen production facility. Zooming out and zooming back in, we see that Fisher Island also has a big upgrade with lots of more new buildings right here, along with Vanderbilt Park, which looks something like this. And if we zoom into Port Vice City, we can see that Rick has attached some of these roads right here, but not as much has changed except for this little extra building here, which is Terminal J. Now going to this area here, Ocean Beach, you can see that there is a couple of jet skis that you can probably rent or buy on these docks right here, and there are some more buildings being placed that are looking very accurate now. There's an extra speculative building right here, and the Flamingo Park now has some extra buildings and also a little bit of a rough structure or shape, as well as here on Collision Park. You can see that it didn't have a shape or rough shape before, and now it does. Now some of the names also has changed, because you see here that it's called North Beach and here it's Bay Harbor, probably from the leaks. And it has some more buildings as well. As you can see here, these are the actual real life buildings, and you can see here that they look a little bit like this, so like this. Nice looking building. Now these middle little islands haven't really changed as much. We see that here Flanger Island has the name now, and down here you have the Star Island Water Tower and this building right here, the Star Island DR, where you have Jason O2's screenshot, which is this one right here. I have no idea how he found out that this is that screenshot, because all you see is palm trees, but maybe this building and this one and maybe a little bit of this gave Rick a clue. I have no idea. But yeah, according to him, that's where that screenshot is. And now we're gonna go to the most interesting part of the map, the left side, which has the most significant changes. You can see that this name right here, I'm not even gonna pretend to know what that is now Tisha Waka, and the northern part of this left side of the map remained kind of similar with Le Perle, which we've seen from the Vice City screenshot. We know the name because it says Perle E, just per lay, and I absolutely love all the vehicle customization, by the way. It's insane how many kind of little stickers we're gonna be able to put on these vehicles. It's insane. And also this Gloriana screenshot. Do you think it's gonna be an island or Gloriana is gonna be attached to the top of the map? Let me know. Because I honestly think that Gloriana is gonna be, because I personally think it's not gonna be an island and there's gonna be a big part. This is Project Americas and it's just gonna tease what is happening at the top and you cannot go further than a certain amount. But who knows? It's my speculation. That's my little dream right there. You can see that the text Crosstown has had this speculative road right here. Well, now it just goes straight under this bridge right here and it attaches to Rock Ridge. Now here in downtown there is a lot of stuff that has been changed. So here we have Little Cuba now, which wasn't here. We have this speculative metro, the government center interchange station right there that wasn't a part of the old version. And we have this Bayfront Park, and here we can see we have minute number 2 of trailer 2, which is this shot right here where you can see the car dragging this vault across like Fast and Furious 5. Cool movie, you should check it out if you haven't. So that's happening in the middle of downtown Vice City. Now there's also more buildings added here. It feels like it's becoming one kind of big building that has all these buildings at the sides of it. And then of course in the left side we don't have the Vice City airport, but on here with version 3 we do. We can see a big part of it already. Now I'm gonna full screen this one right here now, and you can see that there is a couple of leaked spots that show this airport and it still looks very, very big. There's also these moments right here. For example, this screenshot of Vice City, which yeah, a plane is landing, so it's gotta be at the Vice City International Airport. But overall, if you look at the Vice City map, this airport is absolutely huge, and there's always this discussion of is it gonna be actually realistically huge like this? Because a lot of it is speculation, we just don't know. But basically every mapper that has spent thousands of hours mapping this thing have all came to the conclusion that yeah, Vice City International Airport will look as giant as this. And then down here we have Hamlet, as I spoke in the beginning of the video, along with the beautiful Leonida Penitentiary, where you see a couple of spots now being added. You have all these towers that create the walls of the prison, but also now you have this shot right here in trailer 2, which is this right here. That is the tower that the camera is looking at, with the beautiful guard here holding his gun, making sure Jason isn't going to bust Lucia out of prison. And here you have the prison entrance at the very next shot, where Jason is basically having this conversation with the other guard and then picking up Lucia from prison so that they can go ahead and chill. So this is very nice. And by the way, there was a idea, I think on GTA 6 O'Clock's YouTube channel, where they talked about this being maybe a cutscene from when you get busted in GTA by the police and you have to pick up the other protagonist. And it wouldn't be such a hassle to do so because you don't get really busted often in Grand Theft Auto. You get wasted by the police more often. But yeah, I think that would be a very dope idea, but it's probably a story element, just because when you go right here and you see at the bottom that Lucia has this ankle tag, which she clearly does have at the beginning of the game, as you can see in the artwork. And I love the little detail that I haven't even seen this or noticed this, that her skin is damaged because of the ankle tag. That's kind of a crazy thing that I haven't really seen anybody talk about. So yeah, you learn more every day. And by the way, there is this other thing in this art. If you go all the way here, you can see something that might look like the GTA 6 map if you squint your eyes. I don't know if this is something worth making a video about. I already asked Yanis, who creates these official maps. I asked him and he said, yeah, it's just blub, it's just nothing. So if you want me to make a video about it, there are people who made fan maps looking like this map, so we might be able to check that out later. Who knows? If you want to see that, put it in the comments below, and by the way, while you're at it, subscribe, like, and do all that stuff. Back to the map. Down here is Hamlet, and I have talked about Hamlet a couple of times now. It is something that you can only see when you watch the leaks, and there is a police chase. Lucia is at the back of a SUV shooting an AK-47 at some police cars, and there's like a Greek restaurants and all sorts of restaurants from European cultures. And it looks like a really lovely, nice town. Now if we compare Hamlet from Yanis's map to the one from Rick, you can see that there's not really too much difference except for like a couple minor details. You see here there's two little blocks, and here it's one block. You see that this right here is a little bit straight, and here it's more curved, but everything is kind of relatively the same. You can see that this water right here, you know, is one full thing in the Rick map, and here it's like two little separate things. So there's just minor things that are going on. And also here you see a little bit of the top of the grass rivers, which is in Yanis's map obviously also seen right here. That is why this part is green, because this is a confirmed kind of border, and the rest is more or less. So yeah, this is basically the whole map of Rick. I love doing these mapping videos. It is absolutely amazing seeing the progress being made and the little intricate details. We're now at a time where basically we just fill it up with a little bit more details here and there. So until trailer 3 comes out, which is hopefully next Tuesday, but we'll have to wait and see if there's anything going on at all. We're not sure, but hopefully so, because Thursday is the new earnings call, and Rockstar always loves to drop some news right before the earnings call, just so that the boss man himself, Strauss Zelnick, gets more money, because people are investing more into their companies because, hey, GTA 6, there's more news, let's invest, you know, it's crazy. This is how trailer 2 came out, and this is also how trailer 1 came out. Trailer 1 came out with a post on Rockstar Games' website saying, hey, we're gonna drop this on the beginning of December, so maybe they'll do that, but we'll just have to wait and see. I thought I'd just quickly keep you up to date in case you didn't know all of that. So maybe we'll get something next Tuesday, hopefully some news. Could also be pre-orders, but it could also be nothing. Well, anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this Rick V3 map, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you to Rolfcore for being a member. See you next time. Bye bye.